the match thinking that the target wasn't too big and India would be able to score it easily. And of course, we had lost 2 wickets in the very beginning. But the way KL Rahul and you know that new boy was playing, they were really, they looked very comfortable, scoring at a good pace, nearly 5 runs and over. And it was only 65, the target, 2066. It's good I didn't watch. At least I didn't get frustrated watching the, defeat. Hurts badly just to know we lost. We could have been an undefeated team in this tournament if we had managed to win this Bangladesh match against Bangladesh and the final, right? Because we didn't lose, we hadn't lost any match until yesterday. Okay. Anyways, so you guys are here now. Today we are going to talk about the superlative adjectives. As we know, superlative adjectives are the EST form, like tallest, or the most beautiful, the most handsome, the most intelligent, right? Give me a second. Okay. I asked you to read New York Central Park. Central Park is one of the most amazing sights. Okay, in English, we say one of the tallest, one of the biggest. It means not the biggest, but one of the biggest. Okay. One of your
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Kanak. So, Virat Kohli is one of the best players in the world cricket today. It means when you look at the best players, okay, you choose some players who are the best, and he's one of them. Okay, so this, however, sounds a little strange, but yeah, understand. One of the best. We choose the tallest boys in the class, and we say he's one of the tallest. He's one of the tallest. Now, imagine a classroom has 50 students, and the highest, height, is 6 feet 2 inches. Okay, nobody is taller than 6 feet 2 inches. Okay, but there are 5 boys who are 6 feet 2 inches tall. Got it? There are 5 boys who are 6 feet 2 inches tall. So when you refer to one of them, you say he is one of the tallest in the class. He is one of the tallest in the class. So there are some sites in this world, and they are considered most amazing, the most amazing sites. SIGHT, sight is a thing to watch. Okay, guys? Sight is a thing to watch. 1 plus CPH 2381. Who's this?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Is it you, Sandhya?
Yes, sir.
Ah, I see. Okay. So, as I was saying, one of the most, this will be used very often, okay? Not with amazing, with any adjective.
Your voice is not loudly, sir. Your voice
My
is very.
my audio? Okay, how many people are having issues with my audio? Do
Now is
you
better, sir.
now it's better? Okay, so it was not close enough. Um, all right. Hmm. What can I do about it? Because I sometimes want to speak a bit quietly and want you guys to be able to hear me. How about now? Can you hear me the same clearly?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Clearly.
Ruxar, is this audio clear? Ruku, can you hear me clearly? Come on, give me some feedback. Oh, now see, you complain about the audio, now you're not talking. I don't know if you are there. Okay. So as we were talking about this, it's a very, very common, one of my best friends, one of my best friends. So when I say one of my best friends, first of all, I have more than one best friend. First of all, I'll have to accept that. Okay, I have a couple of best friends, right? And one of them, one of my best friends. So the sentence is Central Park. If the audio is not clear, guys, please let me know, okay? Because we are recording it as well. If you cannot hear it properly, the people watching the recording will not be able to hear it either. So don't forget to give me your feedback when the audio is not good. Let me know. Central Park is one of the most amazing sights in the world. Central Park is one of the most amazing sights. Um, so a sight is something to see, S-I-G-H-T, okay? When we look at the Taj Mahal, we can say, oh, wow, what a wonderful sight. What a wonderful sight, S-I-G-H-T, okay? The Taj Mahal is a wonderful sight. The Taj Mahal is an amazing sight. Okay. So Central Park is one of the most amazing sights in the world. There are some other most amazing sights. For example, the Taj Mahal. For example, I don't know, maybe the Burj Khalifa. Okay. So when people look at these structures, they're like, wow, how did somebody make it? Okay. Central Park is one of the most amazing sights in the world. So here the superlative adjective is the most amazing. What is the superlative adjective, guys? The most amazing. And what was the comparative? More amazing. You know, the word more is used in the comparative form and the most is used in the superlative form. An enormous swimming pool of green surrounded by skyscrapers. Okay. Enormous means huge, very big. So I would like you to take a look at this structure. Okay. A swimming pool looks like this, rectangular shape. But here you see lots of trees. Okay. So this from the top, it looks like a swimming pool of green. Surrounded by skyscrapers. Surrounded by, surrounded by, surrounded by, gira, surrounded by skyscrapers. Skyscrapers are very tall buildings which go higher than 50 meters in height are called skyscrapers. Okay. So from the top, It looks like a swimming pool of green surrounded by skyscrapers. An enormous swimming pool, a huge swimming pool. Normally, you don't have such big swimming pools as this park looks like. It looks really huge. Um, Central Park is America's oldest and biggest city park. It is America's oldest and biggest city park. There are no city parks in America which are older and bigger than Central Park. Central Park is the oldest and biggest city park in America. There are no parks in America which are older and bigger than this, Central Park. It is America's oldest and biggest. And the most popular. Almost everybody knows about it, likes it. It is the most popular. People visit it. Okay. It appears, you will see this Central Park in more than 350 movies. This park, Central Park, appears in more than 350 movies. It's busiest on Sundays. It's busiest on Sundays. Most people come on Sundays. Okay, that's why it is busiest on Sundays, with nearly 250,000 visitors. With nearly 250,000, a 250,000 visitors, 250,000 visitors. Okay, 250,000 visitors visit Central Park on Sundays. Imagine how popular and how famous it is. 250,000 visitors. So try and find a quieter time to visit. So try and find a quieter time. Sunday may not be the best day, okay, to visit it, because there are so many visitors on Sunday. The park is busiest on Sundays. So try and find a quieter time, not as busy as Sundays. Maybe Monday, maybe Tuesday. Find a quieter time to visit. Quieter is the comparative of quiet. A quiet time when not much is happening. A quiet time is when not much is happening. Find quieter time. Okay. Here is a guide. Here is a guide to some of the best things to see. So when you visit a place like, Central Park, you need to prepare yourself. You need to know what you can do there. Here is a guide. A guide can be a person, a guide can be a book, right? A guide can be a piece of, text. Here is a guide to some of the best things to see. Some of the best things, not one of the, some of the best things to see in Central Park. Bow Bridge is one of the most beautiful old iron bridges in the world. Bow Bridge is one of the most beautiful old iron bridges in the world. There are some other iron bridges in the world which are as beautiful as Bow Bridge, because it is one of the most beautiful. It is not the most beautiful. It is one of the most beautiful. And that's why we can say there are some other bow bridges, there are some other iron bridges which are as beautiful as Bow Bridge. But because it is one of the most beautiful old iron bridges, we can say no bridges in the world, no iron bridges in the world are more beautiful than Bow Bridge because it is one of the most beautiful. Perhaps you recognize it. आप जानते होंगे, आप पहचानते होंगे. Perhaps you recognize it. It is the most popular movie location in the park. It is the most popular movie location in the park. As everybody knows, the park is huge, right? Let me put this two-page view for you guys. Okay. And zoom in a little bit. Yeah. Bow Bridge. Now, which picture do you think is Bow Bridge? Picture 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Picture two.
Two, sir.
2, exactly. As you can see, it's an iron bridge, okay? It's made of iron. It's very old. Um, it's very beautiful. One of the most beautiful iron bridges in the world, Bow Bridge. And it's very popular with movies or with directors, film directors. They often make, their films, they shoot their films on this bridge. It is the most popular movie location in the park. The park itself is quite big. So they don't shoot everywhere when they come to shoot in Central Park. They mostly shoot on this bridge. Okay, it is the most popular movie location in the park. So directors shoot in other parts as well, but they shoot mostly in this park, okay? Because it is the most popular movie location in the park. So Bow Bridge. Now, the carousel, okay? The carousel is the largest in North America. Okay, it is the largest in North America with its 58 brightly colored horses. It's obviously a favorite with children. Which picture are we talking about? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So it's picture 3.
It's picture 3. Okay, the carousel is the largest in North America with its 58 brightly colored horses. You can see the carousel photo in number 3, 58 brightly colored horses. It's obviously a favorite with children. Do you like sitting on these wooden horses which go round and round? I think you might have done that in your childhood, children love it. Some children, of course, don't want to sit, they are scared. But a lot of children love going round and round. Some of them try to let go of their one hand like this, and they yell, they shout, they really enjoy it. Okay, the faster it goes, the more fun they have. And the more number of horses, the more fun, more joy it is for them. Obviously, it is obviously a favorite with children. Now, we don't need to explain why children like it, okay? Because there are 58 brightly colored horses. Brightly colored horses. So these horses have been painted with bright colors. Yes. And you know how children are. Children love these things. It's obviously a favorite with children. It means when children go to this park, Central Park, they love visiting the carousel. Okay. Yeah. They love seeing the carousel. Now, Wallman Ice Rink. The most wonderful thing you can do on a winter's evening, Jade ki Shaam, exactly translated the same way, right? Winter's evening. The most wonderful thing you can do on a winter's evening is go ice skating here. So if you are fond of ice skating, if you come from those cold countries, where people go ice skating, then for you, Wallman Ice Rink is the perfect place. You can go ice skating on a winter's evening. You can skate to the music. You can skate to the music. So when you skate to the music, when you dance to the music, it means you dance on the rhythm of the music, right? So you just don't skate, you skate to the music. They play music and you skate, okay? So you can skate to the music under the skyscrapers and the stars. Okay, because you are surrounded by skyscrapers. So that's how you will feel that you're under the skyscrapers and stars. And you can do what? You can ice skate. Okay. Which picture do you think is Wallman Ice Rink? Picture number 5. You can see lots of people skating, ice skating here, okay? The most wonderful thing you can do on a winter's evening. Now, the next is Cleopatra's Needle. Cleopatra's Needle is definitely the oldest thing in the park. Okay, the park has so many things. The oldest thing in the park is Cleopatra's Needle. It's from Egypt. Cleopatra's Needle is from Egypt and is 3,500 years old. Okay. So which place do you think, which picture do you think is Cleopatra's Needle? I know you are confused between two, between 1 and 4. Okay.
6.
I thought people would say 1 and 6.
Yes,
There
sir,
is
6.
nothing like Cleopatra's Needle's description in number 4. We read the description and it is nothing like that. That's another thing. Why number 4? Why were you confused with number 4? Because when we read about Cleopatra's Needle, it is definitely the oldest thing in the park. It's from Egypt and is 3,500 years old.
I think first.
Okay.
Cleopatra.
All right. Next. Belvedere Castle. Belvedere Castle. And I'm not claiming that I'm pronouncing these names correctly because, you know, they are proper nouns. I haven't heard them before and I cannot be sure that I'm pronouncing it the right way. Belvedere Castle. So Belvedere Castle is the highest point in the park. It is the highest point in the park, okay? The highest point. Nothing is higher than Belvedere Castle. So you can get the best views from here. So if you want the best views of the park, you should be here at this castle. Now, which do you think is that? Castle. Where do you see the castle? 6 is the castle, right? Obviously. So 1 is Cleopatra's Needle. And it looks like that as well, standing tall, right? You can see maybe the picture is creating an illusion that 1 is taller than 6, but no. Notice 1 is not taller than a tree, okay? But 6 is even higher, right? So it is the highest point in the park. Number 6 is Belvedere Castle. From the castle, when you're standing at the top of the castle, you can get the best views from here. Strawberry Fields is a garden. Strawberry Fields is a garden named after one of the most famous Beatles songs. As everybody here knows, Beatles was a band, okay, the Beatles. And one of their most famous songs, or one of the most famous Beatles songs. So they wrote many famous songs, right? One of their most famous songs was Strawberry Fields. And Strawberry Fields is a garden here named after the song. John Lennon lived and died in New York. Okay, named after is a common expression you need to learn. Named after. चार बोतल बोर्ड का काम मेरा रोज का ना कोई रोके ना कोई रोका 30 things like this it's a song. Now imagine I open a restaurant called चार बोतल बोर्ड का. If I open a restaurant called चार बोतल बोर्ड का, okay, then people will say that maybe I'm a big fan of Beatles. If I open a restaurant called Char Bottle Vodka, then people will think that I'm a big fan of the Beatles.
Wine.
People will think I'm a big fan of vodka. What else can people think, guys? If I open a restaurant called Char Bottle Vodka,
People think that you are a big fan of Yo-Yo Honey Singh.
yes, people might think that I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Yo-Yo Honey Singh, right? Yes. Yeah, that's also possible. Absolutely. So people would say, why did you name your restaurant after this Yo-Yo Honey Singh song? Why did you, they will ask me, why did you name your restaurant after, you named your restaurant after Yo-Yo Honey Singh song? Why did you name your restaurant after this Yo-Yo Honey Singh song? Then I would say, I love Yo-Yo Honey Singh and I love this song of his, right? So I named it Char Butter Vodka Restaurant. Okay. So guys, Strawberry Fields is a garden and it was named after one of the most famous Beatles songs. It means the Beatles wrote and played a song called Strawberry Fields. Okay, that's why it was named Strawberry Fields. Let's find out. Let's go to Google and search Strawberry Fields. By the way, yesterday I got a notice on my channel, not a copyright strike, but something like that. I'm showing you guys. Okay, take a look. Here, video received a copyright claim. A copyright owner claimed some content in your video, 4:30 p.m., 13th September, the day before, yes, on the 13th, okay. This is not a copyright strike. When I said view option, this is what I got. Channel is not affected, but the visibility of this video has been blocked. No one can view this video due to one or more of the content ID claims below. So 3, content identified in this video is listed below. Yeah, I showed a YouTube video, that's why perhaps, I'm going to remove. Next time I will not play YouTube videos and record it. When I do that, I will stop the recording. Okay, because of the video, copyright claims. I was not aware of it. Impact on the video. Video cannot be seen or monetized, blocked in all territories. No impact, no impact. So this is one thing that I need to do something about, between 53 minutes and one hour. So 7 minutes, I played a video, I remember. It was about a human tower, death-defying human towers, okay, in Spain. I played that video and that's why I got this strike. It's not a strike as it says. It is just they have made a claim. Okay. So I'm going to remove it maybe. I will edit the video, remove this part from 53 to 1 hour. I was very scared when I saw that message. Okay, so what am I gonna show you now? I have to be careful what I show on YouTube and other places. Why are we here? I forgot. Yes, the Beatles, Strawberry, the Beatles, Strawberry Fields Forever lyrics. Can you see that? Strawberry Fields Forever lyrics. I didn't even write it. And strawberry fields forever. Okay, so they wrote a song called Strawberry Fields Forever. The Beatles wrote a song. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. No one I think is in my tree. I mean, it must be high or low. That is, you can't, true and tune in, but it's all right. That is, I think it's not too bad. Okay, let me take you down because I'm going to strawberry fields. Nothing is real, nothing to get hung about. Strawberry fields forever. Okay. So it is a song the Beatles wrote, Strawberry Fields Forever. So they have named the garden Strawberry Fields. Okay, there is a garden and it has been named Strawberry Fields after one of the most famous Beatles songs. I hope you understood. Name somebody after something. Okay, so suppose you guys know my daughter's name is Aditi. And imagine if I start a business and if I name it after Aditi, if I name it after Aditi, then it will be called Aditi Enterprises, maybe. Okay. So I hope name somebody after something means you understand. So India is called Bharat. India is called Bharat after a king called Bharat. After a king called Bharat. That's what I read in my childhood. That India is called Bharat after a king Bharat. And we read in the books that Bharat was so brave that he played with the land
Tiger.
cubs in his childhood. Okay. I don't know about anything about the source of this information. Okay. But I read this when I was at school, middle school. Okay. So India is called Bharat after a king called Bharat. Okay. Name somebody after something. Once Amir Khan had a dog and he named that dog after Shah Rukh. He called his dog Shah Rukh. Yes, to insult Shah Rukh Khan. And in many interviews, he said, I love Shah Rukh. He's my puppy. He's my dog. Because there was a rivalry going on between Shah Rukh Khan and Amir Khan. Yeah, they didn't like each other. Everybody says Shah Rukh Khan is the biggest star. Shah Rukh Khan is King Khan and these things. Amir Khan has his own brand. He is in himself a big star, right? All his films actually do great. He doesn't give a flop film, right? He makes a few films, but he doesn't make flop films. Whether you talk about Dil Chahta Hai or what was the name of the movie, Three Idiots, or that movie God, Wrong Number God, PK, yeah, all these, and Dangal, all these movies were super duper hit movies, right? Secret Superstar. So he was very annoyed by the media and people who gave awards because they always gave awards to Shah Rukh Khan. So he said, I will not go to any award ceremonies ever. He says, I don't want any awards. I don't want to go to, he doesn't go to award ceremonies, Amir Khan. And once he was so annoyed with Shah Rukh Khan, he had a dog and he called it Shah Rukh. He named it Shah Rukh after Shah Rukh Khan, just to insult Shah Rukh. And in his interviews, he mentioned it. Somebody asked why there is a problem between you and Shah Rukh. He said, who has problems with Shah Rukh? I love Shah Rukh. He's my dog. Okay. So name somebody after something. Okay. Do you know that if you respect somebody, you can name your children after that person? Stalin, there is a politician in the West, sorry, in the South, and he is called Stalin, I think in Tamil Nadu or something. Okay. Recently, there was a very infamous remark made by this politician, Udayanidhi Stalin. Um, so Stalin, actually, his father was a big fan of Russian leader Stalin. Stalin was a leader in Russia. Okay, he was a, I will say communist lead, ideology follower. And he was very popular, as Stalin. He liked Stalin, this man's father. So he named his son Stalin. Okay. So if you guys like me a lot, if you respect me a lot, then you can name your son something related to my name. Like Jawaharlal Nehru liked Gandhi a lot. He respected Gandhi a lot. So he named his daughter Indira Gandhi. All right. Okay. After Mahatma Gandhi, right? Okay. So guys, I hope you understand. Name somebody after something or somebody. किसी का नाम किसी के नाम पे रखना है. हिंदी में the word we use is पे, right? भारत का नाम भारत एक राजा के नाम पे पड़ा है जिसका नाम भरत था. India has been named after a king who was called Bharat, right? So a name after someone बोलते हैं, name on someone नहीं बोल देंगे हिंदी में, ठीक है? John Lennon lived and died in New York. Yes, we know the story. We read about John Lennon, right? In Unit 6, perhaps. John Lennon lived and died in New York. The Imagine mosaic here is in memory of him. What you see, this Imagine mosaic, it is in memory of John Lennon. It is in memory of him. Uski yaad mein. Okay. So this is all. These
Sir.
are the places. We are not. Yes, go ahead.
So I have a question.
Yes, Srishti.
Sir, here in Beatles, apostrophe is used after S. So sometimes
What
we
is it?
use apostrophe after S and sometimes we use before S. Then what is the difference between these two?
Thank you, Beta, for asking this question. Because Srishti did not join this institute when we were in Unit 1. Sometimes with the students like Srishti, I feel to be successful in this institute, you need to trust me a lot. I would like to mention Srishti's story a little bit. Her brother, it was your brother who came with you, Srishti?
No, sir, he is my uncle.
Uncle, sorry, Beta. So her uncle came to the class to make an inquiry. We were in the middle of the course. We were in Unit 4, I think. Right, Srishti? We were in Unit 3 or 4 when she joined, or maybe 5. So he came alone once. And he said that, she wants a class in the morning and this. I said, all right, if you brought the student, it would help me, make up my mind which class I should offer. I met Srishti and I noticed that she understands quickly, I recommended this 6 o'clock batch to her. She joined this class. She was originally here for only 2 months because she thought that she was going to her engineering college. So she wanted to just work on her English a little bit. Then, of course, she joined the class for 2 months, but then her admission was delayed. And perhaps she realized that this class was helping her. So she decided to do the whole course. Now here comes the important things. Money plays a very important role when students decide to join an institute. Okay. Parents ask all sorts of questions. Students have their own doubts as well. And it is not bad because there are lots of people who are running institutes of all subjects, maths, physics, English, chemistry, sociology, all subjects, everything. And some of them are very hungry for money. And once they take money from the students, they don't care much about what the students need. There are some people like that. very selfish, don't really appreciate what their students need. So because the students have had some bad experience, they sometimes have too many questions as well. But interestingly, Srishti's parents and Srishti never had any questions of that kind, with me. She joined, she paid some money, she decided to continue. I just reminded her, Beta, you want to continue, pay the rest of the fee. She said, okay, sir. And she sent the fee. And she's learning here, okay? Now, this question that she has asked is from unit 1 or 2, if you remember. I teach you possessive adjectives in unit 1, apostrophe use of apostrophe s. Unit 1, okay? So there are two things. One, once a student comes into my class, I never stop them from asking questions that, hey, listen, you are asking me a question from unit 1 and I've already taught unit 1, so I'm not going to answer. I never stop my students, any of my students. So sometimes some people, they treat me like other teachers and other institute owners. They think that, okay, I am, because they're here for, they join a month later, so they should pay less or something. Sometimes some people say things like this, I don't really appreciate it. I say my course is my course, okay? It costs 5,000 rupees currently. You pay 5,000, whether you are here for the whole course or 1 or 2. Suppose somebody joined in unit 2. So they should pay less because they joined in unit 2. I won't appreciate that. I won't like that. Okay, we are in unit 3 in my 7:30 batch. And a student joined maybe 2 days ago on the 13th, okay, or the 12th of September, 2-3 days ago. He paid 5,001 rupees. We are already in unit 3, but he didn't say, well, sir, you have not taught me 2 units, so I will pay less. I will not appreciate that either, because I'll say, listen, you're going to be in the course. Suppose you ask me a question from unit 1. So I will say, hey, listen, you're not paying me for unit 1, so I won't answer the question. I can't say that, of course. So it's a lot about trusting each other here, in this institute. And I'm very glad that you guys are those people who trust me this way with your money, with your, you trust me with my knowledge as well. So that's really nice. Now, answering Srishti's question, who will first of all explain it to Srishti? Srishti is saying sometimes this apostrophe sign is before S and sometimes it is after S. How many of you know why it is so? Does anybody remember? Nikhil? Do you remember, Nikhil? Praful should remember. I think Praful can answer. Praful,
Yes, sir.
please answer.
One is position. One,
You can answer in Hindi. If you find it difficult to explain in English, you can explain it in Hindi as well.
एक का मतलब सर इज के लिए होता है और एक मतलब पोजीशन.
Okay, I think your audio is not very clear to me. I don't know why. If you're using an external microphone, that could be the reason. So,
I am next.
yeah. So as Praful is saying, if you have singular nouns, okay, then if you want to use possessive, then you put apostrophe S. For example, India is a country, singular country, India. India's apostrophe S to show possession. India's culture, okay, like that. India's boundaries. When I say man's best friend, man is singular, M-A-N, man. Man's Okay, beta, let me give you some other examples so that you can understand this. First of all, I'll take common nouns so that I can use the singular and plural both. So I say my brother. Now this refers to one brother, right? And if I say my brothers, this refers to plural brother, right? So if I say my brother's children, here it means I have a brother and I'm talking about his children. Now, when I say I have brothers, 2, 3, 4, I have brothers, and I'm talking about their children, then only this is enough. So basically, Srishti, it is about the noun singular and plural. When you have a plural noun ending with S, because sometimes plural nouns don't end with S. So I'm talking about those plural nouns which end with S. When you want to use possessive of those words, then you just use apostrophe, that's it. So in the first expression, my brother's children, mere bhai ke bacche, and second expression, my pronunciation is the same, my brother's children, mere bhaiyon ke bacche. Okay. Now take a look. My neighbor children. Neighbor. No. Neighbors children. So in the first one, I'm saying मेरा एक पड़ोसी उसके बच्चे, उस एक पड़ोसी के बच्चे. Okay. And in the second expression, I'm saying मेरे पड़ोसी लोग 2, 3, 4 पड़ोसियों के बच्चे. तो अगर आप जनरल बात करना चाहते हैं मेरे पड़ोसियों के बच्चे, तो you will use the second one. आप एक से ज्यादा पड़ोसियों के बारे में बात करें. बट अगर आप किसी एक पड़ोसी के बारे में बात करें तो आप बोल सकते हैं माई नेबर्स चिल्ड्रन. ओके, सिंगुलर पहले बोलेंगे एंड देन apostrophe s. Did you understand this, Srishti?
Yes, sir.
But if your plural noun doesn't end with s, for example, children is plural, right? But it doesn't end with s. So बच्चों का, children's games, बच्चों के गेम, चिल्ड्रंस बुक्स, बच्चों की किताबें. लेकिन लड़कियों के कपड़े, how shall we write this way or this way? Girls clothes, लड़कियों के कपड़े. Which is correct, the first or the second?
Second.
The first.
Second one.
The first is एक लड़की के कपड़े. The second is लड़कियों के कपड़े, girls clothes, plural girls. निखिल क्या सुना नहीं पता, उसका नेटवर्क खराब है, उसने कहा फर्स्ट सही है. निखिल बाबू, फिर म्यूट चले गए. देखते हम नाम लेंगे तो म्यूट चले जाएंगे.
No, sir. He chooses second one, sir.
Nikhil chose the second one.
Yes, sir.
I heard the first.
No, sir. Another one. I know someone choose first.
But somebody else said the first.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Nikhil, can you hear me, Nikhil? Unmute yourself and talk. I know your network is not very good today. Okay, his network is bad. That's fine. Last time I was trying to talk to him, and he was not responding because of his network. It happens sometimes. I get an idea when it is a network problem. Okay. So Beatles was a band, Beta. There were three, four, people who came together and they formed a band called the Beatles. Okay. Beetle is a small singular. Beetle is a small, small insect. Okay, beetle. I'll show you. And they call themselves the Beatles. Okay, Beatle. Beetle. Arey yaar. Because they are so popular that when you search Beetle only, okay, let me first remove the S. Okay, still the same. Let's look at the images. Okay, you see, this is a beetle. This insect is a beetle. Okay. And they call themselves the Beatles, plural, many of them. Okay, because there were four of them together. They are the Beatles, okay? Four people formed a band. So they call themselves the Beatles. Okay. So the superlative is also over, guys. We understand what superlative adjectives are. Okay. Let's talk about some superlative adjectives. Nine 9.9. I'm going to play the audio for you guys.
New York's Central Park.
Central Park is one of the most amazing sights in the world. An enormous swimming pool of green surrounded by skyscrapers. Central Park is America's oldest and biggest city park and the most popular. It appears in more than 350 movies. It's busiest on Sundays, with nearly 250,000 visitors, so try and find a quieter time to visit. Here's a guide to some of the best things to see. Bow Bridge is one of the most beautiful old iron bridges in the world. Perhaps you recognize it. It's the most popular movie location in the park. The Carousel is the largest in North America. With its 58 brightly colored horses, it's obviously a favorite with children. Woolman Ice Rink. The most wonderful thing you can do on a winter's evening is go ice skating here. You can skate to the music under the skyscrapers and stars. Cleopatra's Needle is definitely the oldest thing in the park. It's from Egypt and is 3,500 years old. Belvedere Castle is the highest point in the park, so you can get the best views from here. Strawberry Fields is a garden named after one of the most famous Beatles songs. John Lennon lived and died in New York. The Imagine mosaic here is in memory of him.
Okay. I hope you appreciated the word obviously. When do we use the word obviously? We use the word obviously when we are saying something that doesn't require an explanation. People understand it without an explanation. For example, sir gave me so many compliments today in the class. Obviously, I was so happy. Obviously means I don't need to explain why I was so happy. He gave me compliments. Everybody loves compliments. Oh, obviously, okay. So people use the word obviously like this. Okay, the questions were very easy. Obviously, we all were very excited. We were very happy. Okay, so like that, obviously. I hadn't eaten anything since morning. Obviously, I was very hungry. Okay, now listen. Were you hungry? Obviously, I hadn't eaten anything since morning. Suppose you're talking about some story and somebody may ask you, so were you hungry? Of course, obviously, right? Hmm. So these are words which you will learn. I know some of my students, because of very, I will say, um, poor language exposure since their childhood, find such words very difficult to learn. For a lot of students, these words are not a challenge at all. But for some, these are. Those who find these words difficult, I have a message for you guys. Read stories, read novels, spend your time with books, language, not necessarily English. Hindi will do as well. Spend a lot of time reading Hindi stories too. Um, I have said this on some occasions before, and I'm saying it one more time. I am a good teacher of English, and I have managed to learn English so well, much better than many other people who were studying with me, because of a couple of things that were my advantage. One, in my childhood, I loved reading comics and storybooks. However, my father was always very angry with me about it. He thought that I was wasting my time reading novels, reading comics, reading, storybooks, and he scolded me many times. But I just loved spending time with these stories. And I looked for excuses. I sometimes hid myself somewhere and read comics and things like this because I knew I would be scolded and punished if I was found out. But I didn't know back then what I was doing was going to help me. Because of my reading habits, I became comfortable with words and how words are used. Somebody who doesn't read much, okay, is usually bad at languages, okay. They can just talk maybe a little bit, okay. Most people who have not done much reading, they cannot really write well, they cannot really appreciate the beauty of a language. I did that in my mother tongue. So when I learned English, I had a good foundation of language. I'm not saying English or Hindi. I knew what language was and why people use language, not just to communicate, to sometimes express beauty, okay, of their thoughts as well. And all these things helped me so much, that so people who have never read any comics, never read any storybooks, all they have read is their syllabus books, and very well how reluctantly, unwillingly we read our syllabus books. We are not interested in reading them much. So if that's the exposure that you've had, then of course you're going to find it more difficult to learn a new language. No doubt about it. Can I ask you all a question? Did you read comics and storybooks in your childhood? Guys, did you read Bal Hans? Okay, very nice.
Yes.
When you grew older, after Bal Hans, which book was your favorite? Did you read, or did you stop, or did you continue reading something else when you grew up? Because I believe that when you're small, then you read things like Champak and Bal Hans, and after you are 13, 14, you stop. Did that happen with you as well? You stopped reading. Okay, other people, Nikhil, Praful, Srishti, Afreen, Kanak, Sandy,
Yes,
Ruxar,
I read Doga.
Doga comics. Okay,
Yes.
I know. Inspector Doga was actually an inspector who became Doga. I don't know. No, that was Inspector Vinay who became Parmanu. Okay, okay, Doga, yes. And after the comics, did you move on to something else, or did you stop reading completely after comics?
Sometimes I read Champaks.
Again, Champak and Doga, they will all be children's, things. So when you passed your childhood, when you became a teenager, like 15, 16, did you move on to something new, something else, or you stopped?
I think I stopped. I stopped reading comics and novel.
Okay, other people, would you like to tell me about your experience with language, words? Srishti Beta, did you read anything as a child for entertainment?
No, sir, I never read any comics.
You never read any comics. Did you read anything for entertainment?
No, sir.
You you never used stories, books for entertainment. You only read your syllabus books, Srishti.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes I
Then
read
you are very
Urdu.
yes, Ruksa.
I read Urdu.
Ruksa, did you read Mahakta Achal type of magazines?
Yeah. Sometimes I read Urdu.
Sometimes. Okay. Doesn't matter. Urdu, Hindi, doesn't matter. Any language. Because that
Yeah,
gives you an understanding of how words are used. So, Srishti, you're lucky, I will say, because you lived in Bihar Sharif, and even though you did not read any stories, novels, magazines, comics, you still got some exposure to good language, I will say, because of your place where you lived, Bihar Sharif, and you watched TV, and all that stuff. And you had people around you who spoke perhaps good Hindi. But I don't know, there will be times, Srishti, whenever you find anything difficult to understand, ask me, okay? Don't hesitate. I'll be here to help. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Guys, you guys are talking about your childhood stuff. If a child has very good diet, healthy food he eats. But after he becomes 14 and 15, he stops eating healthy meals. Then what happens to his body, to his health? It suffers, right? So similarly, I have read a lot of articles about the impact of financial condition on our abilities to think and abilities to use language. And it has been established through research that children can be malnutrition not only in terms of food and body, they can be malnutrition in terms of language as well. By the time you turn 3 or 4 years old, you can be heavily malnutrition in terms of language, and your ability to use variety of words can be limited, you know, and you will be able to use only limited number of words in your conversation, compared to some other children who are the same age as you, and they'll be able to use a lot other words than you, a lot more words than you. And these things will have a far-reaching impact on your life in later years as well, when you get a job, when you study. So when you guys become guardians, when you guys become parents, make sure that your children read. Doesn't matter what they're reading, they should read, they should be exposed to the language, watching cartoons, watching TV programs. These things are very good for children's mental, growth. Again, there are so many other things to do. I'm not saying this is the only thing, but yes, language plays a very important role when you are exposed to, when you see words being used in many different ways. I remember reading Tenali Raman stories. I remember reading Nandan, and they were just, uh, yeah, they were so good for my language understanding. Today I realize it. Okay, superlative adjectives. Look at practice section. It's the biggest. Exercise 1. Complete these sentences with the superlative adjective. And notice, I'm not saying superlative, I'm saying superlative. I'm saying superlative, okay? So guys, it is not superlative, it's superlative, okay? Superlative, actually, superlative, okay? The stress is on the second part, superlative, okay? So you have to complete these sentences with a superlative adjective. And which adjective we will use? You will understand this when you read the entire sentence, okay? We don't have the adjectives in brackets here. So read, there are 6 sentences. Which adjective comes to your mind? You have to complete them with superlative adjectives. Remember that. Do it. Which adjective did you use in number 2? The hotel in London is the Lanesborough. The most expensive hotel in London is the Lanesborough. The royal suite there costs, the royal suite, we pronounce suite. The royal suite there costs £27,000 per night. 3. The world's
longest car.
longest. 20,000 spaces doesn't make it longest. It makes it biggest in a sense, right? A car park has area. A car park has, so we call it big, not long. Okay. A river is long. A road is long, but a car park is big. So the world's biggest car park is at the Best Edmonton Mall in Canada. It has 20,000 spaces. This car park can have 20,000 cars at once. 4. Which adjective do you guys think you will use here?
Highest.
The busiest tourist attraction.
Well tried. The most popular? How about the most popular? It has 40 million visitors a year. Okay. The most popular tourist attraction. The busiest is also fine, beta. Okay, that's also a good adjective to use. Number 5.
The hottest city in the world.
Everybody, you know, it is an easy one for you. Number 5. The hottest, warmest, hottest. Because warm has only single syllable, right? So you don't say the most warm, you say the warmest, the hottest. The hottest city in the world is Awaz in Iran. The highest temperature ever reached there was 54 degrees centigrade. 6. Which adjective would you like to use for number 6?
The oldest city is Jericho.
Yes. If you guys use the correct adjective because you read the second line, it means you understand how now words work in English, okay? You guys are developing a good sense. So good job. And there should be some homework for Monday. Homework will be in the practice book, 2 pages, guys. 2 pages. Next 2 pages. Which 2 pages? Let's see. We are in unit 9. Page number 56 and 57. 2 pages. That will be your homework for tomorrow. 56 and 57. That's all for today. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Bye-bye, everybody. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.